Well, hello, I'm Terry McInturff, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you all today about this delightful Tonephile Puredrive pedal. I've had a chance to test drive it a little bit, and I've had a great time. You know, this is a very usable musical tool. And I choose that word tool for a purpose. Some of you may know I'm a guitar maker, and I tend to view guitars as tools, but first and foremost. But I view amplifiers as tools, and you know, an effect unit such as this, you know, it's got to get out there in the field and do a good job, first and foremost. One of the things that really impresses me is the attention to detail, the build quality. I'm kind of in the business of trying to, you know, exhibit good build quality, and I'm always appreciative of that in other people's products. One of the things I like to point out are these little parts here. These are called electrolytic capacitors. I won't go into why the quality of them is important, but trust me, it really is. And just looking right at these little black cylinders here, all our signals passing through that, they have to be quality parts. And these are the best in the business. These are Panasonic FM series electrolytic capacitors. When I saw those, my interest was instantly piqued, because I know that if you're restoring an old Neve mixing console or API, any of the old great control room consoles that made the hits we grew up with and love, if you're restoring one of those old consoles, these Panasonic FMs are the electrolytic capacitors to use. So I was impressed by that. You know, we have heavy duty switches, nice alpha pots, stuff like that. Of course, this very cool, you know, tweed covering. That attracted me to it before I even plugged it in. Now, I'll be the first to admit that my true talent lies in the field of guitar maker. You know, I'm not much of a guitarist, but, you know, I've been slamming away at it for a number of years. I think Will has shown us really what the guitar can do with the Puredrive. But for me, you know, I'm kind of a classic rocker, okay? And I find that by setting it to a lower gain setting, and of course we have four controls here. We have the gain, treble, bass, and output. We have a whole palette of usable sounds that can be used in, oh my goodness, any number of musical situations. The character of the guitar is retained when you engage the Puredrive unit. So here's my tone without the Puredrive. I'm just going to play some basic, you know, Pete Townsend chords or whatever. Okay, so there's without it. Now we'll just put it in for a little bit more grind, but I think you'll agree it's about the same. So, you know, we've got a little bit of a treble boost there. And, we can set it for a little bit of an EQ boost, and I'll talk about the EQ boost, but this is without. So you can see that we were really retaining the character of it. The way I've got it set, moderate gain boost. We're able to poke out a little bit in the sound stage without sounding like a different guitar or amp or what have you. Now, having an active treble and bass control on an outboard effects unit perhaps isn't new, but when one is designing these audio devices, a lot of thought has to be put into the center frequency of the bass control or the treble control. In other words, my friends, what frequency are we boosting and cutting around? And if we make the wrong decisions about these center frequencies, we can end up with EQ knobs that are, well, maybe not quite so useful in the field. That's one thing I kind of dig about this unit, is that, let me go ahead and pop it back on, a little bit of, you know, just not much gain, but, you know, I think that the frequencies to boost and cut were very well chosen. I just brought up the bass. Same with the treble control. You know, it's easy to find a treble control on an amp or a recording console that sounds harsh when you boost it up. This one just adds a little bit on top. Pardon me. And again, a place that I think is very musical sounding. And you can mix it up with whatever guitar you're using and really dial it in. Another cool thing is if we turn the gain pot on this all the way down, okay, we're still passing signal. We have the output control in play, but if we turn the gain control all the way down, we can use this for a foot switchable EQ box, which I think is really pretty useful. The utility of an outboard effect pedal like the Puredrive, of course, to make our job easier. Well, that's not the only reason we'd use it. Of course, we'd choose anything like this based upon its sound, but I've always found them to be of the greatest utility live to make my job easier. And if something sounds good and helps me do a gig without quite so much stress, well then, I'll embrace that pedal totally. And I'd have to say that I embrace the Puredrive for, largely those reasons.